Today on Conversations That Convert, we'll be talking about how builders can create engagement from high quality leads. Let's get started.
Welcome to Conversations That Convert. Every week, we'll spend about 10 to 15 minutes tackling relevant lead generation, marketing, and sales topics for remodelers, home improvement companies, and home builders. Conversations That Convert is brought to you by Builder Lead Converter, your perfect sales assistant. And now, here's Rick and Diana.
Hey, welcome to Conversations That Convert, everyone. Hello, Diana. How are you today?
Hi, very well, thank you. And how about you?
Oh, well, the sun is shining and it's almost above freezing, so we'll take it for a January day. And you just got back from Turkey, so welcome back, and you look rested and ready to go.
Yes, ready to face the cold.
The cold, the winter. We got a few more days of winter, but let's heat things up a little bit. And what's our topic today?
So today we start a new series. How can builders create more engagement from high quality leads?
That's right. Yeah, the series is actually called How to Create a Client Acquisition Roadmap. And this is something you and I touched on with last year in 2023. And, the more I looked at it, I thought, you know what, we really need to expand on this and kind of break it down a little bit more for our builders and remodelers. And of course, we always go back to the Association of Professional Builders State of the Residential Construction Industry Survey. And every year, the APB surveys between 1,000 to 1,500 builders, and they say, hey, what's your number one marketing challenge right now? So the results are in for 2024. The study hasn't been published yet, but I know that in 2024, there was 46% of all builders said their number one marketing issue is generating enough high quality leads. High quality leads. And what's interesting is that the second biggest marketing challenge was generating enough leads. And when you add the two together, it's about 6 out of 10 builders. That's their top issues, is high quality and enough leads. And obviously, poor quality leads don't do anybody any good. So what we want to focus on is high quality leads. And so this new series of creating that client acquisition roadmap is really going to be focusing on those high quality leads. So what we're going to talk about today, again, is lead engagement. In other words, you have high quality leads coming and going, looking at you every single day, whether they're on your website, they may be seeing your advertisements, they're looking at your signs, and you want to get those leads to engage you. I was talking to a remodeler the other day, Diana, and he said, there's nothing worse. I live in this town and our office is right here. And all of a sudden I look down the street and one of my competitors is building a home. And I never even got a chance to talk to those people. And he goes, why didn't I get to engage, with that high quality lead? They're building right down the street from me. And now for the next, 8 months or whatever, he has to drive by that job site with his computer sign there. And you're like, oh, I kind of get mad every time you see it. So there's nothing worse than that, or at least talking to somebody that you had a conversation with and then you lost it to a competitor usually doesn't make you feel as bad because you're like, oh, well, so-and-so is cheaper than me, or they did this, or, whatever. But when you don't even get a chance to engage that lead, that's what really burns you. And you have that question that never goes away, which is why? So let's jump into that. Why leads don't engage? Okay, so there's really a very simple reason for why new home and remodeling leads don't engage with you. And that reason is this: you don't give them a reason to. It's as simple as that. And I talked a lot about this at the conference I went to a couple weeks ago, where most builders have what I call a builder-centric website. It simply says, if you want to buy from us, call my phone number or fill out this form and hit submit. Now, if we talked about this a little bit earlier, if you wanted to buy a car and the car dealer said to you, well, if you want to buy a car, call us or fill out this form and hit submit. You'd be like, you know what? I don't really think I wanted to buy a car from these people because they're not giving me a compelling reason to do so. So that's what builders do. They typically tell people, hey, do you want to buy? Call me or fill out this form and send me an email. And then what happens is the ones that do that, most builders don't even get back to them in a timely manner. So people get really burned by that, and they don't want to engage you. So if you want more high quality leads to engage your company, you have to give them a reason to do so. And that reason should be so compelling that they can't say no. So what do you think, Diana?
Yeah, I think that's a good question to reflect, because I never realized that actually and that's true, the leads don't engage.
Yeah, and if you don't engage, you don't get the chance to talk to
Yeah,
them, you don't get the chance
right.
to work with them, your competitor gets the sale. So we gotta give them a reason to do that. So let's go back again to the analogy of buying that car. So what does a dealership do when you want to buy a car? What's that offer that they give you, or the reason that they give you to engage? It's come in and take a test drive, right?
Yeah, test drive.
You bought a new car, what, a year or two ago?
I think there are four now. 4 years.
You got one of those electric cars that we hear so much about. But they say, yeah, come in, take a drive, look at the car, test it, push the button, see what you think of it. So what that is that's called your offer. What is your offer? So there's different types of offers, but your offer is that compelling reason that your leads cannot say no to. So unfortunately, in the housing business, we can't let someone come in and test drive their remodel, or say test drive their custom home. So we have to come up with different offers, but they have to be just as compelling as the opportunity to go drive something that you potentially want to buy. I was telling you before we started that I worked once with a condominium developer, and as they were building out the building, they created a guest suite. And if somebody was interested in purchasing in that building, their offer was, hey, come stay overnight in the guest suite. And then they would give them a gift certificate to a local restaurant, and it was right downtown where they could walk to all these different fun amenities, and whether it was walking trails or parks or local businesses that they could visit. And it was the closest thing you could get to a test drive. So yeah, the sales term for it is called the puppy dog close. It's when you go to you take the kids to the pet store, right? And then they hold the dog and they say, oh, Dad, can't we please get the puppy? And you're like, no, please, Dad. And then the salesperson comes up and says, well, you can take the puppy home, and we have a money back guarantee for a week. So if you don't like the puppy, go ahead and bring them back, right? And of course, what happens is the puppy goes home, the family falls in love with the puppy, and the puppy never comes back. So that's it. Doing that test drive for the car or staying overnight is really called the puppy dog close. So we want to get as close to that as possible and let our leads experience that emotion and feel really good about engaging us. So let's go through these three types of offers, shall we?
Yes, let's go.
All right. So offer number one is we have to establish trust. Now, one of the things I speak on a lot is that the number one source for high quality leads is referral and repeat business. Number one source, hands down. If I asked any builder of any price point selling remodeling or custom homes, if I say, if I could get you more leads, what is your favorite lead source? Hands down, they will say referral and repeat leads. Well, why is that? Because trust has already been established between that builder and the referrer. Okay, so the person that's making the referral. So when the referrer says to the referee, that's the new lead, saying, hey, you need to go talk to Diana. She's the best remodeler out there. Don't even bother talking to anybody else. That trust that was established is now instantly transferred over. So when that referral lead comes to you and says, hey, you built Diana, you built a home for Rick, or you remodeled Rick's kitchen. He said you were the best. Can you help me with mine? And you say, yes, absolutely. And that's a very, very high converting type of lead. So now when we're looking at other lead sources, such as your website, such as your signs, such as any advertisements you're doing, you have to give an offer to establish trust. Now there's a process that you go through this. This is a negotiation. So what your offer has to be, it has to be so compelling they would not want to say no. In other words, that negotiation, they have to feel like they're getting more than they are giving. Okay, so right now, if you're a builder and your website only has a phone number and a form on it to fill out, you're asking for more than you're giving. That's why you have so few people actually filling that out. But if I'm giving something that your leads feel like is more valuable than their contact information, along with their permission to fill it out, they're going to say, yes, I want that offer, right? So that's value. So what do leads value? They value information on getting more design ideas, pricing information, finding a location to build, or just simply being able to ask you a question where they don't have to get on the phone with you, where they can use like a text communication or website chat, messaging, that sort of thing. They do value that, and that's when they're willing to start that relationship. So your first offer is always about establishing trust. Again, you're giving more than you are receiving. Now, how you deliver that offer is what will confirm that trust. So if you say, I'm going to give you this to you, and then when you deliver on it in a timely manner, no doubt, and what I mean by a timely manner is that they're going to receive it in less than a minute, that confirms the trust. And now you're moving them forward to offer number 2. So offer number 2, Diana, give them a reason
To talk to you. Yeah.
Exactly. So now I've given them something they value. They've given me their contact information. Now I have to try to give them a reason that they want to get on the phone with me. So I'm just going to double down on my original offer. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I want to give them more specific information on design as it relates to their project or their new home ideas, or more specific pricing information as it relates to their remodeling project, their new home, or perhaps helping them find a location to build, or if they already own land, I'm going to offer to do a feasibility study to give them a reason to want to talk to me. But I'm going to, again, supply that information that they need in order to make a well-informed choice. And that's specific language that I used to teach when I was coaching salespeople. Is like, everyone wants to make a well-informed choice.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be sold. So if you're doing your job right, you're providing them the information, but you're providing it in a way that you continue to reel them in. You can't push people, but you can pull them. So you pull them in with your offers. What do you think so far, Diana?
That's I think that's very, very interesting. So you're just pulling them with an offer. They come, they jump, and they say, "Oh, I want that. That's exactly what I want." And you have it, and I want that. Like with the car, I want that.
And new home and remodeling people want information to help them make a well-informed choice. They don't want to be sold. So you're going to feed them the information. See, what you have to become, Diana, if you're a builder or remodeler, is you have to become the local source of information.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to get ideas for your new kitchen, you'll search everywhere, all over the internet. You'll look at everything. But ultimately, that always comes back to your location and finding the builder that is a local source of information for you. And then that's your go-to person. So that's kind of your trusted source. So when they feel like they're getting the information from you, they'll stop looking. Right. So now we're giving them a reason to talk to us. And then the third offer, of course, is we need to go from the phone to face. So now I have to give them a reason of why they would want to meet, And of course, the phone, when I get them on the phone, that's so you as the builder get an opportunity to qualify them as a lead. So you want to make sure they're viable because you don't want to waste your time with them. You don't want to waste their time either. Right. So once you've had that phone call, at the end of that phone call, your lead is going to have primarily 2 questions. They want to know how much home or how much remodeling project they can get for how little money. So they're going to be asking questions like, well, how much is this? Or what will this look like? Does it include this? Do I get this? You get a lot of times people ask like, well, what's your price per square foot for this type of home or this type of project? And I know that drives a lot of builders crazy. It drives me crazy as well. But just understand that that's the information that they need in order to make their well-informed choice. They don't understand yet that they need to use your process in order to get that information. So we have to work with them at that moment to try to qualify them and to see if their budget is viable based on the project they are describing. We understand that everyone has champagne tastes, so they want to have this level of finish and this big project. They want to pay as little as possible. don't want to overpay, don't want to get sold, that sort of thing. So that's what they're thinking. So now what we have to do is in that conversation after we qualify them is we have to give them another reason of why they want to meet. So okay, let's go out, let's look at your land. Come on in, I'm going to show you some design ideas. I'm going to come out to your home and we're going to get some as-built done, and we're going to go ahead and start building a scope of work for your project. So there's another offer is here's why you want to meet. And what you're doing at this point is you're shifting from what they want for information, which is what's it going to look like, how much is it going to cost, where can I build it, to your process. They need to follow your process in order to get that information done. So once they shift it over to that, now you're running with it, and it's really your sale to lose. So what do you think, Diana? Final thoughts from you?
So 3 logical offers, and then they can follow the offers, and then you get the chance to meet with them face to face.
Absolutely, yeah. And the strategy is called a controlled release of information. So each offer gives them enough to create a compelling reason of why they want to take the next step with you. So establish trust, give them a reason to talk to you, give them a reason to meet with you. So I'm controlling the release of information, and I'm always holding something back, that offer, so they want to go to the next step and go to the next step. And organically, we do this. Organically, your builder out there, you maybe haven't even thought about that, but that's what you're doing. But if I give them all the information up front, then I lose the opportunity to continue them going down my sales pipeline. In other words, I've given you all the information you need. There's no reason for you to want to hear from me again, nor is there any reason for you to want to follow up with me again, to keep moving forward. If I hold some back, and I'm holding some back, what I'm doing is saying, Diana, I would love to give you this information. Here's how I can get it to you. I need you to come into my office, or we're going to come out to your house. So again, I'm moving them forward in order to get that information. So that's the offer. And if they feel like the offer is worth more than their time, or perhaps it gets to the point of where they're starting to write you a check, they will opt in. So it's always a value perception. What do they value? Making sure you're giving them something that they value more than whatever you're asking for in return. Contact information, a 5-10 minute phone call, and ultimately maybe a 60 to 90 minute consultation at your office or at their home. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, so I can ask, when do we start?
So I sold you.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah, it is. You know what? And the idea is that you have to be consistent with your messaging. You have to be consistent with your offers. But more importantly, you have to let the lead feel like that they are personalizing the offer. Because the more you feel like it's personalized, the more likely you are to engage and move into the next step in your sales process. If it's just like a static offer, it's going to have very limited reach. But if it's something personal, like you're putting some input into it and you're getting something back in return, boy, then it's even more compelling. And that will cause you to continue to move forward in the sales process.
So consistency is key.
Consistency is key, and personalization is key, and also fulfillment. Fulfillment is key. Again, to establish trust, you have to get them whatever they're after immediately to establish that trust. Because if you don't establish trust up front, you'll never get them to go to the next step, which is the phone call and ultimately that face-to-face meeting.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you'd like to know more about how we can create offers for you to get leads on the phone with you from your website or signs or advertisements, schedule your strategy call today. We can show you how we attract, capture, and convert high quality leads so you as a builder can pick and choose your clients and jobs. And for my brothers and sisters in Christ, may the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all always. We'll see you next time